Good evening, Crossroad community. Thank you for continually being such a great mission church. That is one thing that drew Tony and I in so many years ago, was the mission of Crossroad. You do so very much for the community. Thank you for the opportunity to speak this evening about our homeless youth in Clay County. As you may know, I became councilwoman of the town of Orange Park in 2016. And one of the first things I did was convene a roundtable of community leaders and citizens and to come together to talk about homelessness. We had a lady who sat up near the Dairy Queen and everybody was very concerned about her. And I figured, well, if we need to find out more about her, we do. And what else do we have in our community that we don't know about? Things that go unseen. And it was out of that conversation that we found out that there are unseen youth within Clay County. In fact, there's a large number. Those youth are the youth that are 17 to 18 years of age who do not want to be in family services. They have no place to live. They either live in their car or they live from home to home and just wanting to graduate from high school with their friends and become a productive citizen, and just doing the best they can to get to that point. It was really heart-wrenching to hear the stories from the social workers in the REACH program here in Clay County of how teachers were having to, pay for hotel rooms. Teachers were having to spend out of pocket to do many things that we take for granted to help these kids to be successful. It was out of that discussion that a partnership was formed between Moose Haven and Youth Crisis Center in Jacksonville, that they would come in and they would be the caregiver for a home for one home for boys and one home for girls, and on the Moose Haven property. That was unbelievable the way that came together, and we were so very proud to have our first pilot program starting that very year. Something that just really tore my heart was when the students were first arriving, and they were, at that time we didn't have the houses yet, and so it was one boy and one girl, and so they were set up in a dorm-like setting with some of the residents there in Moose Haven, and we had made their rooms really nice and put all kinds of linens and in nice colors in their rooms, and had it all set up for them. And so when they arrived that day, we had a welcome basket. And so I was quick to take the welcome basket over there for when they arrived. I got there not long after they were there, and the young woman was not in her room. And so I was like looking for her, thinking where, she might just be went around checking things out. Where did I find her? I found her doing her laundry. And that tore me up. Usually we're used to students coming and our own children being excited about a new room and, coming in and wanting to decorate and stuff like that. The last thing they would have on their mind is doing their laundry. But when you're homeless, that's the first thing you have on your mind. When is the next chance I may be able to do my laundry? So when you see a young woman who's trying to complete her high school and she has to think about where can she do her laundry next, that's a big dilemma. I was so very thankful that we were able to surround her and help her and get to the place where she was able to graduate from high school, and so was that young man. And it started and opened the doors to what the needs really were here in Clay County for our homeless youth. We now have that program, and now we're moving into another program with Mercy Support Services where even more students will be able to be housed. But we need your help. There's so many things, there are basic things that students need that we just take for granted. Our students had not had, new underwear, just the basics, even pajamas. They had not seen an eye doctor. They had not seen a dentist. There's just the basic things that we had taken for granted. And so the fact that you all want to help support these youth is so very important. So I urge you, please look at that list that I know that's being passed around at Crossroad and see what you can give towards these students. I know that with school about to begin, they're not just going to need supplies. They're going to need the very basics. So, and I know that the REACH program would be so very thankful for anything that you can give their way to make it a little easier. And also to make it, easier on our teachers that have it bad enough, trying to do all the many changes they have now, but also their big hearts of caring for our youth. So I thank you. I thank you for your mission-driven direction that Crossroad has, and your love for God and your love for one another and your community. Thank you very much.